Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then the paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day.
Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And this is the Flutter clean architecture with the Riverpod project over here. We will be building a Flutter application using the clean architecture with the Flutter Riverpod over here. And this is not a beginner course, so if you are a complete beginner, or if you are not familiar with the Flutter as well as the Riverpod over here, then this course is not for you. So this is really not a beginner friendly course, and if you want to learn some basic concept, make sure to go and check out my other courses over here, and you should be good to go with that one. But for this particular course, it is required to have some Flutter development experience, maybe a 6 months, 1 year, or even more than that would be good. And also the Riverpod, or the knowledge of the Riverpod is required. And if you are not sure about how to use the Flutter Riverpod, make sure to go and check out my course on that one. I have a full course regarding the Flutter Riverpod as well. And that's just the thing that you have to know about this. That is the prerequisite for this particular course. So let us get started, and welcome to the Flutter clean architecture course with the Flutter Riverpod. So let's meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Let us continue with our lesson over here, and in this particular lesson, let's go and see how we can host, or how we can set up our API server locally before we publish it to the production server. So we will set up everything in this particular lesson before we deploy it to the production server over here. The first thing that you need to do is you need to go to this particular link over here, and this is the source code for the API server, which is built using the Express and then the TypeScript over here. And in order to run this particular server, you need to install and configure certain things. First, you need to go and download this one as a zip and open up in the VS Code over here. And the next thing that you need to do is you need to go and install the Node.js, right? The JavaScript, the runtime over here, depending on your OS, whether you are using the Mac or the Linux or the Windows. So you need to download this particular Node.js over here. And also you can just go and install the TypeScript globally over here if you want to install. So to run the npm, you must have the Node.js installed and running in your local PC. Otherwise, if you don't want to run it globally, you can also go and just run the npm install over here. So let me just clear it out, this one, and you can just run the npm and then the npm inst install, and this should go. And if you have installed the Node.js over here, it should go and install all of the dependencies, including the TypeScript over here. If you go down over here, the TypeScript is already in the let's go and see where is that. Is this over here in the dev dependency over here. So if you want to install it globally or locally, that depends on your requirement. If you don't want to install it globally, you don't have to do anything. Just come and open up the project, that you have downloaded just in the VS Code, open the VS integrated terminal and just go and run the npm install over here to install all of the dependencies over here. That should add the node module folder over here. And once you have done, or once you have installed all of the dependency, what we need to do is we need to set up our this particular env file over here. This is the env file, so you should rename this one and remove the .example from here, and it should be .env.development and as well as the .env.production. Make sure to remove the .example from the end, and we need to fill in all of this information over here. So what we need to do over here, the first thing that we are going to see how we can go and set the Firebase over here. So we need to set up the Firebase. First of all, you need to go to the Firebase console and create the Firebase project over here. And once you have created the Firebase project, what you need to do is you need to go to the project overview, project setting from here, and go to the service account. And from the service account, what we need to do is we need to grab the certain the service account email is of this one, and you need to generate basically a new private key over here and download that particular private key. And you should add your project ID over here that should include in that particular downloaded private key, and then the email as well as your the private key over here. So that should be the thing that you have to do once you generate and download the new private key from here. And make sure you have selected the Node.js over here. And that is the setup for the Firebase. And the next is that we need to set up the email over here. This is for the test email, so we can go and test our email. So for that, you need to go to the mail trap over here, create the account over here, and go to your inbox from here and go to the SMTP setup over here. So this will be your port. You can use any port. This will be your host, and this will be your password over here. So you need to go and set up the username, password, host, and then the port over here. So port and then the host is have already added over here. You just need to set up your username and then the password over here. And in case you want to change the email from, then you should also change it over here. Otherwise, you can just leave it as a default. So now that should set up your email, right? And then we have already done it for the Firebase. Next is we need to go and set up the SendGrid API, because in the production we will be using the SendGrid to send our email, and this is just for the development. This is for the development and this is for the production server. So you need to go to the SendGrid, create the account, and we need to generate the API key. So you can just go to the API key over here, and I have already created a lot of the API key. What you need to do is you need to go and generate the new API key, whether you want a full access or the restricted access. Depending on your requirement, you can generate the new API key. And once you have generated the API key, you need to provide that particular API key over here. So that should do the setup for the SendGrid over here. And the next will be to set up your JWT over here, because we will be using the JWT token, access token, refresh token, and all of those stuff over here. You can just provide any of the random the token over here depending on your requirement. Just generate some random base64 1632 or 64 character long the base64 token, or just give some random character over here. That should be fine. Same thing for your on the access token secret. You can just provide any random string character, or depending on you can also generate the base64 and all of the stuff. You can provide it over here. It doesn't have to be a specific thing. It can be anything that you want to provide over here, and make sure you don't provide this space at the middle over here. And then we need to provide the access token. The auth token expires in, and then I have already set up the default one, so if you want to change, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to worry what are all of the stuff. You just need to fill in this particular information over here. And then the cookies, you can just keep it as it is. And then the next will be to set up our S3 bucket, Amazon S3 bucket, because we will be using the S3 to upload our profile image from our application. Make sure to go to your sign up for the Amazon account, AWS account, and then go and generate the S3 bucket, and then generate the IAM user over here. And then once you have that particular generated user, you need to go to the security and generate create the new access token key from here. And once you have generated that, you need to provide that particular your bucket name, whatever bucket you are using, your region, so you can just go and see which region you are using, right? And that should be somewhere over here. If you go to this particular, let's go to the I guess let's go to the bucket, and in the bucket I can select this one, and in the properties it should define your AWS region, right? And you should go and provide your bucket name, region, and then the access key, and then the bucket secret key over here. All of these I'm not going to show you each and every step, because it's going to take a lot of the time over here to generate all of this. Setting up project, and all of those are going to take a lot of the time over here. And I hope that you should be able to do it, because this is not a beginner friendly course. You should be already familiar with all of the stuff over here. This is not a basic course, right? And if you are not sure how to do that stuff, just go and check out in the YouTube as well, or maybe in the internet, any blog regarding how to set up the S3 bucket with the Node.js application. And also you can just go and find some tutorial and other stuff over here internet to set up all of this over here. And if you want to go and learn how to do all of this stuff, you can also check out my course in the full stack development with the Node.js. I will be teaching all of this information, so how to set up all of this information and how to provide it over here for the development as well as for the production. Make sure you set this one up for the development as well as for the production over here. The next will be to go and set up your MongoDB URL over here, the MongoDB user, and as well as the password. So let's go and see how we can configure this one over here. And to work with the MongoDB, we will be using the Railway over here, railway.app over here. Make sure to go and sign up for the account in the railway.app. I'll also put a link in the description, so you can also take it from there. It will be really helpful if you use that particular link. And if you sign up for hobby or some account that you're using for your personal account, then I may get some credit over here. It's not a requirement, but it will be helpful for me if you use my link and sign it up over there. You can also make use of the MongoDB locally, and you can just go and search for the documentation on how to install and configure the MongoDB locally. But since we will be later deploying this particular server to the internet or to the production server, I'll be directly configuring the MongoDB in the railway.app over here. It's really simple over here, nothing complicated. So what you need to do is you need to just log into your account, go to the dashboard, and create the one new project over here. So I'll just go and I'll just go and give an let's just go and select the MongoDB from here. So you can just go and see, you can select any of the like services that you want to install, but for now let's just go and deploy the MongoDB over here. And once this is going to deploy, it's going to take some time. So you can see it's going to its deployment is online already. Yeah, that's pretty quick over here. And what I can do is you can just go and change the name, or you can just keep as it is over here. If you want to change, you just go to setting and change the name, description, and all of this stuff. But for me, I'll just keep it as the default one, because later I'm going to delete this one anyhow. So once we have the MongoDB running, let's go to select this particular project over here and go to the variable from here, and go and select the public URL configuration from here. So I'll just copy this public URL configuration from here. This is just to set up from the locally, but once later we use it in the production server, we will make use of the local host as well over here. So let's go back to our project over here and select your env configuration. And in the MongoDB URL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that one, and this is the user. So I'll just copy this one. This will be your user, this will be your password over here. Just paste that particular password over here, and then this will be your particularly the URL. Actually the URL will be of this one, and this will be of your port over here. And what we need to do is let's go back over here, and if you go to the setting over here, and if you go down over here, this is the public network over here. So you can actually connect using this particularly the proxy network. But for internal projects, so later we will add the API server over here, then we'll make use of this particular internal project over here. And you can also go and let's go and set up some more stuff over here. Enable the app sleeping over here. If nobody is using this one, this will make the server auto sleep over here, something like the if nobody is watching or nobody's listening or connecting to this, then this will auto sleep over here, right? So and this is something like containerizing your application, like the serverless application, right? So it's on demand. So once you try to connect it, it's going to restart, and it's going to take a little bit of time to run the first time, but that's it, okay, right? We don't want to spend a lot of money over here. This is just for the testing over here. And once you have done this one, and on failure, I just want to restart for one. And other than that, I guess I don't have to do any of the setup. And you want to just go and minimize the resource that you want to use. For now, I'll just give it 8 vCPU and 8 GB of the RAM. And I'll just go and deploy this MongoDB one more time over here, and let's wait for this one to complete over here. And you can see it's deploying. It's going to take some time, and once that is going to be deployed, I will recommend you to go and check out this particular configuration over here. And in the account setting, you can just go to the billing over here, and in the billing you can see that I have been using it for a couple of the months already, and I have a hobby plan over here. And this includes the $5 free uses, so I can use a $5 as a free uses. But for this one, I need to set up my credit card, and I highly recommend you to change your plan to the hobby plan, because you get a $5 credit, and if you overuse the $5, then you will be billed for that one. Like maybe you use a $6, then the $1 will be your billing, and it gives you some extra CPUs, and then the RAM over here, and also the set disk over here. The hobby plan is really cool, and if you are building some hobby project, I highly recommend with this one. If you go with the completely free plan, then sometime your service will be down, and sometimes you cannot run some project because out of memory, because you get a really less memory with the free plan over here. That it will be really helpful, or it will be really cool if you can go for the hobby plan, because if you use a free plan, you may get stuck inside certain stuff. So now our service is one service is actually running over here, and now we have this particular setup over here, your password, username, and then also the URL over here. And you have to do one more stuff over here for this particular URL. What you need to do is you need to just go and add the this particular password over here. So later we will extract it in our application over. So if you go over here, we will extract that particular password over here, and for that we will provide it over here inside of this particular bracket over here. And now once we have done the setup over here, what we can do is we'll open up our package.json, and you'll see there is a script to run the dev server over here. So what we'll do over here is npm run and then the dev. So this should go and execute this particular command, and this should run our server locally. So it's starting, and let's see if it is success or not. And now we can see that it is running, and then the MongoDB has been connected successfully over here. So what we will do over here is we will open up our Postman over here, and make sure to go and install or download and install the Postman over here, and just go and download the Postman and install it locally depending on your the OS version, whether you're on Mac, Linux, or the Windows over here. And once you download and install this Postman over here, what we'll do is we'll go back to and open up the Postman over here, and you can just go and create the new blank collection over here. Or if you want to get this particular collection, you can contact me on the Slack channel, and I will provide you with this particular collection over here. Otherwise, you can just go and create it yourself. And if you are familiar with the Node.js, you can go and extract all of the API from here as well. So all of the routes, the API endpoint is already defined over here. If not, you can just contact me on the Slack, and I'll provide you with this particular collection. And in the collection, let's try to see once we set up our server, let's try to see if it is working over here. So let's try to go to the sign up over here, and in the base URL I have made use of the localhost, and that is set up in the environment over here. So in the environment I have the base URL, and this is of the initial value, and then the current value is set up over here. You can just go and add the new one over here, and just go and set up your variable and then the value over here, and you can just go and grab that one in your the collection. Once you set up the environment variable, you can just go and make use using this particular the curly brace over here, and then the endpoint over here, and in the body we will send this one over here. And I guess I need to go and restart my server one more time because I changed the connection URL, and the server is running. So now let's try to see if this creates the new user for us. So let me just go and set up this one as the one, and let's go and set this one as the one over here. This is the post request, and let's try to send this one to the server. Let's see what we get back as the response back from the server. And now you can see it has been created successfully. So let's go back to our server over here, and let's open up this particular MongoDB, and in the data we should see there should be a user, newly created user over here. and now we can see that we got that particular user. So user is there in our DB already. This is the user that I have just created. So which means that our setup is working correctly, our MongoDB is working correctly, and it is running locally successfully. So the next step would be to publish this to the real world application, so we can make use from our app development. So for that, later we'll be deploying it to the here as a production server, and you can obviously go and try it on your own if you are already familiar with hosting with the railway over here. The homework for you will be to publish this one to your GitHub account. So make sure you commit this and then add it, create a new repo in the GitHub account, and then publish it over there. Later we will connect it or get that particular project from here. So whenever we create the new push from here, it should auto deploy all of those servers. So it's basically going to create the CI and then the CD for us over here. So I guess that's all for this particular server, and we'll learn how to set up our local development server, and next will be to deploy this to the production server. So let's meet up in the next lesson. Till then, have a great day.